Namaste, everybody, and happy Friday to you. My name is KJ Hamus, and welcome to our Friday night Slow Flow plus Yin class. If this is your first time or you haven't been with us in a while, just take a moment and make sure you've got all of the things you'll need to support you in your practice this evening. So a pillow or a yoga bolster, that you might have a blanket or a towel, and then yoga blocks or yoga block equivalents. So books, board games, just anything that's got a little bit of heft to it, feel free to grab that as well. You might need to be able to bring the ground closer to you, and so definitely not an empty box. That could be interesting. Tonight's class, we're gonna work through an opening mantra and meditation with some pranayama breathing exercises, a gentle moving flow, and then our yin practice. So in yin, we'll hold shapes anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes, maybe longer, just depending on what you need tonight. So as we get settled in, I'm going to invite you to find a comfortable seat here. Feel free to sit up on a block or a blanket or your yoga bolster or pillow, and try and find a place where you can find a nice tall spine. So depending on how your back feels and and whatnot, feel free to sit up against a wall maybe too, just to have that little bit of extra support. So crisscross applesauce if that feels good in your body. If that doesn't feel good, please still find any other comfortable position. As we move into our practice, just a reminder that you are the authority in your body. I'm just here to serve as a guide. So if you need to take anything else or do anything else that serves you best, please do that and know that that is where your yoga is at tonight, and that is exactly what you need. So I'm going to ring the bell to draw us in. Feel free to close the eyes, find a soft point for your gaze. I welcome you and invite you into this practice. Know that I honor the path that it took to get you here this evening, and take a moment to honor that journey for yourself as well. Whether it was an easy journey or a challenging journey, know that you made it here. This is exactly what you were called to do in this moment. We honor those who've come before us on the land which we currently sit. So here in Washington, D.C., we honor the Anacostan tribe, as this is their land. We are merely guests. As we start to dive deeper into ourselves and into our breath, we are reminded and hold close the teachers and practitioners who've come before us to give us this practice. Those from ancient India, more than 5,000 years ago, black and brown yogis who sat underneath trees and in caves on the side of roads, who brought this whole practice together so that we may find liberation and freedom today. Settling into your breath, letting the first several moments of your practice be one of non-judgment and control, non-control. Just let the breath flow freely through the body. Notice what travels on the breath. What are you bringing in with you to your practice this evening? As you breathe here, Notice how the breath is changing or affecting the body. So how is the breath moving? Where does it start? Where does it end? Where does it gravitate toward? What challenges is the breath coming up against tonight? So where is it being restricted in terms of movement in the body? Is it shallow? Is it heavy? Is the breath comfortable or uncomfortable? Take a few moments here in silence for this observation of your breath and of your body, just to get an idea of how you're showing up. As you're continuing this observation, notice if you're gripping your hands, whether they're placed on your knees or in your lap. Notice if they're gripping. And if you are gripping your hands, take a moment and maybe wiggle them out and place them gently back down. I invite you to come into a deeper breath here, beginning to seal the lips, but keeping a slight gap in between the teeth so we don't lock the jaw. Feeling the breath enter in through the nose, and feeling the breath enter out, exit out through the nose. So bring your focus, your total awareness to the breath and its movement. So while we bring a lot of things on the breath and in the body, can we use our breath and the shapes we're going to make tonight to create more space? Create more space for what we are bringing in with the challenges we might need to overcome, or the joy we want to spread throughout our being. We're going to come into our triangle breath this evening. With our triangle breath, we're going to breathe in for a count of 4. We're going to pause and hold for that same count of 4. And then we're going to breathe out slowly through the nose for a count of 6. At any point, if the pranayama practice is not feeling good in the body, if it's bringing up feelings of anxiety or just anger or anything like that, suspend the practice and just breathe in and out gently. So sitting up nice and tall, let's take a cleansing breath together. Full breath in and out. And breathing in through the nose for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Breath in, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Deep breath in for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continue on your own, establishing your own breath rhythm here for the next minute or so. Take your time. Maybe your inhales become longer, your exhales become longer. You might stay with this same. The idea is to stick with your breath. As you become more familiar with your breath this evening, breathing in, really push the breath down toward the belly as if the energy is traveling through the nose all the way down the spine, feeling the belly expand. And then as you breathe out, feel the breath travel up from the base of the spine, all the way out through the nose. The same direction that the diaphragm is taking as it helps us breathe in and out. Taking one more full round wherever you're at. And after you complete that round, start to feel the breath grow from the base of the spine. So changing the direction of the breath as feels comfortable for you. So as you're pulling the breath up from the earth, feel it travel up the spine through the belly button, past the sternum, the jugular knot, through the third eye center, to the middle of the brain. And then as you breathe out, feel the breath travel down the back of the spine. So from the middle of the brain down to C7, through the thoracic spine, meeting once again at the base, creating a loop, moving through an orbital movement. Let each inhale help you feel grounded, so feeling connected to the earth. And let each exhale return you to that same spot. Our breath is going to help us stay focused in this moment. And notice as you change the direction of the breath, what is beginning to happen in the body? What's traveling on the breath? As this becomes familiar to you, I invite you to take on the mantra, so hum, meaning I am that, or that I am. So I am a being, I am a person, I am compassionate, I am loving, all of those things that we are whole. And let this mantra, as we take that mantra throughout our practice, remind us of that. So continue to breathe here, and every breath you take, so hum. Feel the energy start to move up and down the spine. So the activating energy along the front, the passive energy along the back as we work toward balance. We'll continue to practice this breath, this meditation for about another minute here, silently in the seated position, and then we'll carry it with us throughout our practice. As you're ready, gently blink open your eyes, but keep the breath flowing. On the inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Gaze will follow your thumbs. As you exhale, lean over to the left. Bring the hand or the forearm down to the ground. Inhaling, feel the right fingertips reach up. And exhale, maybe you ease a bit more into the shape. Inhale, reach. And then maybe as you exhale, you open the heart toward the ceiling, taking a slight back bend here. Looking up at the fingers. One more breath here. Breath out. As you inhale, sweep the hands along the ground. And then on the exhale, leaning over to the right, left hand up, right hand down, or forearm down. Always feel free to place blocks here just to bring the ground closer to you. So inhaling up the front side of the body, grow nice and long. As you exhale, maybe you open up the heart toward the ceiling. Again, this is totally optional. If you're just feeling that really good lateral stretch and you want to stay there, do that. Inhale. Exhale. This time as you inhale, let the top hand lift you up. Clasp your hands behind your back and open up the heart. If clasping your hands behind your back does not feel good, continue to reach maybe for opposite elbows, drawing the shoulders back, or bring the hands behind you, placing them on the ground. Just find your heart opening. Maybe you gaze up. Feel the throat open. Take a breath in, reach up, look up, release the hands, and then exhale, fold forward, reaching for something in front of you. So lengthening along the spine. Continue to breathe. Staying with your mantra. So don't worry so much about what the shape looks like, but how can the focus on the breath and on the mantra help you expand and feel comfortable in your body. Get to just the root of things. As we inhale, we're going to reach back up again. Exhale, lean this time over to the right. Bring your left hand up and over. Inhale is going to draw you forward, sweep the ground. Exhale, we're going to lean over to the left. Inhale brings you up. Hands can come behind the back or to the ground. Exhale lifts the heart. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold. Flowing here, inhale up. This time, just take whatever side feels good to you. Lean over to the left if you'd like. Inhale, sweep down. Exhale, other side, lateral stretch. Inhale up and clasp. As you exhale, pull the heart over. Inhale, lift. And exhale, fold. Keep moving at your pace. Feel free to alternate between sides that you start or stay on the same. It's up to you. Focus on the breath here. And find your rhythm. Feel as if the energy and the breath are starting to move together. Notice what's happening as the breath as we open up the spine in various ways. Remember, 30 seconds here. Move at your pace. And finish out whatever cycle you're on, meeting in your comfortable seat one final time. As you inhale, reach up. Then as you exhale, roll over your knees, coming into a neutral tabletop shape. Stacking shoulders over the wrists and hips over the knees. Think about sending the tailbone back and the crown of the head forward. Press through the ground to round through the upper back. On our inhale, send the right leg long behind you and pause. Point 5 toes down to the earth and feel as if your right hip bone is pointed straight down. Adjust your balance by shifting the left thigh a bit toward the center. Take a breath in, breath out. Inhale. As you exhale, keep the straight leg, turn the toes out, opening up the hip. So you're going to take your pointed and your flexed foot, and it's like you're trying to stamp out to the side. From here, draw your knee into the elbow, and then through the chest and back. Inhale. Exhale, open the leg up, bend the knee. Inhale, come through center. And then send it back. Open up out to the side, bend your knee, and draw it back in. We'll take one more here. Then extending the leg nice and long, breath in. Exhale, bring the toes down to the earth, press back through the heel. Calf stretch. Keep your nice neutral spine. Breathing here. Inhale. Exhale. Keeping your right toes on the ground, swivel your left knee so it faces the long edge of the mat. Bring the whole right foot down to the ground and reach up, gate pose. So lift up here and then take your side stretch. So I'm stretching away from the straightened leg, but if you went the other direction, that's fine because we're going to get there in a second. Inhale, lift up. So feel the strength in the upper body. Arms will come out to a T. And then exhale, lean to the other side. Let the hand rest gently on the right leg. Feeling the stretch along the side body. Inhale, come on up. And then exhale, find your way back to your tabletop. Take a full breath in. And a full breath out. Reestablish your neutral spine. So keep the tailbone tucked under slightly, crown of the head forward, hips back. As you inhale, straighten the leg behind, your left leg behind you. 5 toes pointed down to the earth. As you feel the hip bone looking down. Take a breath in. Exhale, open the leg out to the side. Draw the knee in. Inhale, center, and then send it back. So take these hip circles, keeping the leg out as long as you can. Doing our best to keep the hip point down, not getting the other leg involved too much. And it might be slightly different on this side. Finishing out the round that you're on, extend your left leg back, draw the toes down. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, press back, calf stretch here. So continuing with your so hum breath. Inhale, exhale. Feel the breath travel up and down the spine. Let the movements we make open up the body, and then you can feel the breath radiate out from the center. So turning our left toes down, swivel the right knee down. Go ahead and keep your right hand down, extend your left arm up. Stretching here. Deep breath in, deep breath out. As you inhale, lift up. Feel yourself centered over bent knee, and then exhale, lean to the other side. Full breath in, and full breath out. Inhale, lift up, and then exhale, come back down and find a child's pose. Release the back. Keep the knees underneath the body for a little bit more stretch in the low back. If you'd like to start to gently open up the hips, consider widening the knees to the edges of the mat. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Curl the toes under. Then as you exhale, downward facing dog, our inverted V. So here, the intention is to lengthen the back side of the body. So starting from the heels, we'll feel the heels gravitating toward the mat. They don't need to touch, but we feel that pull. So starting to feel that pull up and up through the calf, the hamstrings. As you reach the back, feel as if it's straight, so you might need to tuck the tailbone up toward the ceiling. One technique to help you do that would be bending the knees to have them hover, shifting the hips back and then up. Knees can stay bent, or you can straighten the legs. Notice what's happening in the shoulders here. If you're feeling a lot of tension, you might consider widening the hands a little bit, just providing a bit more room, and maybe even turning the fingertips out to about 1 o'clock, if you will. To create a bit more space, finding a natural rotation of the inner arms. If your hands are struggling to stay on the ground, consider the mobility and range of motion in your wrist. This might be a great place for a blanket or a towel to bring the ground closer to you here. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. As you inhale, slowly walk the hands to meet the feet at the back of the mat and fold forward, ragdoll. Again, continue to feel that leg. We're stretching out the backside of the body, the backside of the legs, and loosening the ligaments along the spine. I invite you to shake your head yes, shake your head no, and let something go. Notice if you're holding a lot of tension in your neck. As you continue to breathe here, you might notice it might be more challenging to breathe, and that's because we're compressing the diaphragm. That's okay. We're working our diaphragm muscle so we can find deeper breaths throughout the practice. As you inhale, find a flat back, heel toe the feet out to the side of the mat and keep the toes pointed out. And then as you exhale, gently sink down, Vilasana, Yogi Squat. Hands will come to our heart center, feeling the energy of the tailbone pointed down toward the earth as our energy from the crown of the head points up. So still having the breath move from the base up to the crown and then back down. Press to the outer edges of the feet, connecting to the earth. Feel free to stay here. Or if you'd like, extend your left hand down to the ground outside the left foot. And then as you inhale, open up the right hand to the sky, taking a gentle twist here. Option to stay here, option to take the half bind if that is in your practice. On your inhale, come through center. And then as you exhale, go ahead and place your right hand outside the foot, and then inhale, open up. Another option, if you don't want to take the full bind, bring your hand to your head. Feel as if your head is pressing into your hand to open up the chest more. Inhale, come back through center. And then as you exhale, plant your palms, fold forward gently, heel toe the feet to about hips width distance apart. On your inhale, start to slowly walk your hands out to a plank pose, nice and slow. Plank walk here. Breathe. Nice neutral spine. Cinch the low ribs together, engaging the core. Inhale, shift the shoulders 3 inches over the wrist, maybe coming to the top of the toes or drawing the knees down to the earth. And then exhale, lowering all the way down to the ground. Again, knees can always come down and bring chest and belly at the same time. From here, extend your legs out, arms and legs out nice and long. Palms will face down. Inhale, lift up. Breathing here. Shoulders will come down the back. Gaze will be 6 inches in front of you on the ground. Staying here, inhale, begin to move the arms out to the sides as if you were flying. And then halfway through on your exhale, flip the palms up. And then bring the hands as the elbows bend to the back. So inhale, come back up, extend the arms out, palms face up, flip the palms, exhale, draw them forward. So continue here at your own pace, legs still lifted. Let the elbows bend, slightly rest on the back. We'll just take 2 more full rounds, move at your pace. This is a great way, and I should have mentioned this at the beginning, so my apologies, to make sure you don't have anything in your way on either side. After you've completed your 2 rounds, lift up a little higher, and then exhale, slowly lower. Let the arms come by the sides. Keep the forehead on the mat. Inhale. Exhale. On your next inhale, plant your hands underneath your shoulders, curl the toes under, and press up, high plank. So really finding your strength here. Don't let the hips dip. Keep them in line with the shoulders. Inhale. Then as you exhale, slowly tiptoe the feet up toward the hands. Finding your ragdoll here. Let's take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, open mouth, lion's breath, let it go. Twice more, cleansing breath, full inhale. Exhale. Sealing back of the lips. On your inhale, reach up, look up, swan dive up. As you exhale, drop the left hand down the side of the body. Lean over with your right hand. Inhale, come up through center. Exhale, drop the right hand down, lean over with the left. Inhale, come up. Maybe the palms touch. And then exhale, take a slight back bend here. Send your hips forward. Gaze goes back. Inhale, straighten up. Exhale, hinge and fold. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. As you exhale, step back, downward facing dog. Keep your feet about hips width distance apart. You may consider shortening the space in between your hands. Because our next move, we're going to move our foot outside of the hands, and you want a little bit of space there. But if that doesn't feel good, again, do it. Don't do it. Do what feels best for you. Big toes to touch. Inhale, right leg will float to the sky. As you exhale, right foot comes outside the right hand. Don't get too comfortable. Inhale, send it back, 3-legged dog. Exhale, step your right foot outside the hand. So keep moving here, making sure as you inhale, you're lifting the foot up, not scraping it. And then exhale, gently places it down. So use your breath, use your focus to place the foot. Your eyes are going to trace the movement of the foot so you know exactly where it's going. Take one more breath in here. And then on your next exhale, meet in your lizard pose. Hands inside the foot. Breathe here. Back leg nice and straight. You can always drop the knee down if you wish. Continue to find a little rounding through the upper back. Press the heel back. Crown of the head forward. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. As you exhale into a reverse skandasana, so you're going to come to the outer edge of your front foot, drawing your knee out. Your back leg can come down if you need the support of the earth, or you can continue to lift it up, engaging through the obliques. Inhale. Exhale, come back, and this time draw the foot in between the hands. Low runner's lunge. Start to cupcake the fingers here. So pressing through the fingertips, creating domes. Crown of the head forward. Send your hips back. Breathe. As you engage through the core, you're going to feel a slight lift of the belly off the thigh. So even as you're breathing, though, the belly's still going to rest on the thigh, but we're not just like dumping our body weight there. Begin to lift the arms up and draw them behind you, hovering the chest 1 inch above the thighs. Round down through your right foot. Inhale. Exhale. On your next inhale, shift your weight forward, coming into one-legged Tadasana. Draw your left knee into the chest. Bringing your left hand to your knee, your right hand to your right hip. Pause. You can stay here, or if extending the leg and reaching for the pinky toes, the big toes with your peace fingers is in your practice, feel free to do so. Finding one spot in front of you to gaze. Work on your balance here. So continue to find your neutral spine. Tuck the tailbone, lift the crown of the head. Breathe. If the breath is stopped, come out of the balance, find the breath, and then hop back into it. If we don't breathe, what's the point? Take a breath in. As you exhale, open the left knee out to the side. Gaze over your right shoulder. Try and keep the hips level with one another. Feel this thigh opening up and a stretch along the thigh. On your next inhale, come back through center. And as you exhale, left ankle over right thigh, sit back, figure 4. So it's like one-legged chair pose here. Flex your foot. And think about the balance. Maybe you arch through the back a little bit more as you sit low. You can stay here. Ooh, my balance is struggling today, so if you have a deeper variation, feel free to go there. I'll see if I can get there to demonstrate. There we go. Bring forearms down to the thigh if you'd like, or you can bring the hands all the way down to the earth or blocks and straighten the standing leg. Up to you. We'll take one more full breath in here. Full breath out. As you inhale, slowly, with control, lift up, one-legged Tadasana. Exhale, send it back, warrior 3. Our last balancing shape, we're only going to be here for a short few breaths. Put a slight bend in the standing leg. Continue to lift out of the torso and lengthen. On your next inhale, gently set the left leg back, lift the arms up, high lunge. Breathe here. Feel the earth underneath both feet. And breathe. Try not to bend through the back leg, except a slight micro bend. We don't want to bend too much. We want a nice straight leg coming to the ball of the back foot. One more breath in. Breath out. Inhale. As you exhale, open up warrior two. Consider bringing your right hand to your heart. Left arm out nice and long. Just feel your heartbeat here. I know it might be moving a little fast. That's okay. But connect with it. Use the breath to take that heart energy and move it around the body. Sinking low into the front hip, right knee over right ankle, pressing through the outer edge of the back foot. Your gaze is still going to be over the right knee. Take a breath here. As you exhale, find your extended side angle. So this is a great place for a block. You can bring the right forearm down to the thigh. Keep the bend in the knee deep. You can draw the hands down to the ground, or you can use a block. The main thing is you don't want to crunch through the right side ribs. So keep everything lengthening. So if you find yourself collapsing, think about lifting up, crown of the head forward, send the hips back. Deep breath in, and a deep breath out. One more, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, let the top hand lift you up, warrior two. Exhale, plant your palms, low runner's lunge. On your inhale, pick up your right foot, step it back, high plank. Draw knees down to the ground or shift the shoulders over the wrists and lower all the way down to the earth. This time we're going to bring our palms by our sides, have them facing up. As you inhale, lift up, Shalabhasana A, locust pose. Use the muscles in the back. Keep the neck in line with the rest of the spine. Breathe. One more, inhale. Exhale, slowly lower down. Plant your hands underneath your shoulders. Inhale through tabletop. Exhale, child's pose. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Curling the toes under, lift the hips. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big toes to touch. Inhale, float left leg to the sky. Exhale, draw the left foot outside the left hand. Inhale, three-legged dog, lift your left leg. Exhale, quietly set the foot down. Take this 3 to 5 more times. Nice and slow. Trace the path of the foot with your eyes. Follow the breath. On your next exhale, we're going to meet in our lizard pose and pause here. Hands are inside the foot. Heel presses back. Maybe you find a smile here. Find something joyful in your yoga practice today. One more full breath here. And out. As you inhale, you're going to lengthen. And then exhale, reverse Skandasana. So again, open up the right knee. Come to the pinky edge side of the foot of your left foot. Back leg can be down on the ground for support, or you can lift up using the obliques. Breathe. Deep breath in and out. Inhale, come back. Draw your foot inside both hands. Low runner's lunge. Cupcake your fingers. Breathe here. Start to engage through the core, lifting the low belly off the thighs. Heel press back. As you inhale, start to lift the chest off the thighs, bring the arms behind you. Pause for your exhale, grounding down through the left big toe mound. As you inhale, shift the weight forward, one-legged Tadasana. Right knee comes into the chest. Stay here, extend the leg out long if that is in your practice. Right hand to the right knee, left hand to left hip. Think about this as balance. Ground down through the left big toe mound. Hips are level. Inhale. Exhale, open the right leg out. Look in the opposite direction. Maybe you extend the hand this time. Maybe you keep it on your hip. Inhale to come back through center. And then exhale, figure four. So take your variation. Keep a bit more weight into the heel, finding that new center of gravity. Hands can come down to the thigh. They can come all the way down to the ground, where you can stay upright exactly where you started. Let each variation you take meet you where you're at tonight, not forcing anything. It just doesn't feel right. Take one more breath here. Breath out. As you inhale, slowly start to come up one-legged Tadasana. And then on your exhale, send your leg back, warrior three. Take your variation. Last time we brought our arms, our arms along behind us. Maybe they feel better at heart center or extended out long in front of you. On your next inhale, lengthen, extending your right foot back slowly, high lunge. Establish your breath. Both hip points are pointed forward. Back leg is nice and straight. Feel free to keep the arms lifted or maybe draw them to your heart center. Left knee bent over left ankle. Breathe. Take a breath in. As you exhale, open up warrior two. Option to bring your left hand to your heart. Gaze is going to be out over the left knee, either looking at your middle finger or just one spot on the wall in front of you. Feel your heartbeat. Feel that connection. Take a breath in. Exhale, extended side angle. Again, option to bring the forearm down to the thigh, hand down to the ground or to a block. Lengthen through both sides of the body, so don't crunch. Lift up and out. Keep breathing as you press to the outer edge of the back foot. Gaze will come up. One more breath here. Breath out. As you inhale, lift yourself up. Exhale, low runner's lunge. Lifting your left foot, trying to avoid a scraping sound. Step back, inhale, high plank. And then as you exhale, downward facing dog. Draw your knees down to the earth, child's pose. Take a deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, open the mouth, sigh it out, let it go. And from here, start to lift up and shift your weight to your left hip. And turn to face the long edge of your mat into a place where you can see the screen. We're going to come into our first yin shape. We're going to come into straddle pose. So bring the legs out as wide as you would like. This is a great place to sit up on a towel or your yoga bolster or a blanket to just really lift the hips above the knees to find our forward tilt. Burp. You may consider your pillow or your bolster as a place to draw the chest, and feel free to prop that up on blocks just to bring the ground closer to you. Sit up nice and tall, and then begin to walk yourself forward. So sometimes I like to fold over my pillow and bring it down. You're going to feel a stretch along the inside of the leg. It's okay to feel a little stretch along the meniscus, this inner part of the knee. However, if that's too much, see about engaging through the quads to start. If that doesn't feel right, if that's too much still, bend the knees. You can even place a couple of towels or even your blocks underneath there too. You still want to feel the stretch. Let your feet relax. And we're going to come back to so hum if it's been lost. I am. We're going to be in this shape for the next 4 minutes. But take a couple of breaths to invite yourself in, making any final adjustments you need to make, and then letting the body go where it wants to naturally go. What stillness can you invite into the body? Don't worry about the time. Focus on the breath and stillness. So breathing in from the earth, feel all of the places you're connected to the earth and feel the breath draw from that connection as it travels up the spine to the crown of the head. And then feel the energy we've gathered from the sky and the earth above as it travels down the back side of the spine, back down to re-meet with the earth. So hum, I am. I'm going to be silent for the rest of this time, this shape, and I'll give you a 30-second warning. So really allow yourself to dive deeper. Feel safe in the space that you've been creating. About 30 seconds left here. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. And gently walk yourself back up. Use your hands to bring your knees on up. Then extend them out nice and long. Shake them out. And pause here for a moment. You might even bring your hands or your legs crisscross. Keep them out long. Just pause. Continuing the breath, but noticing how you feel. It's coming over the body as you come out of that shape. As we move into a deeper portion of this part of the practice, the breath almost becomes effortless. And then as you're ready, gently blink open your eyes. We're going to come into frog pose. And there's a couple of variations that I'm going to offer up just depending on how your hips are feeling and their natural external rotation. So we're always working with what we naturally have. We're not forcing anything. So first option is what we like to call like baby frog or tadpole. So you bring your knees out wide. The big toes may not touch. And you'll lean forward here. This can be a great place for a bolster to place underneath the chest. It's okay if the booty is in the air. And I like to do this on the long edge of the mat. I'm just doing it on the side so you can kind of see what my feet are doing. And you can even, if depending on how wide the knees go, you can bring the big toes to touch and draw here. Okay, so it's like a wide, really wide-legged child's pose, or you can lift the butt up a little bit in the air to draw yourself forward. So that's option one. Option two is going to be a deeper external rotation of the hip, and for this, I definitely recommend using a bolster or something. Again, just depending on where your hips are at. From here, you're going to extend the legs out to the side more. Each knee will be at a 90-degree angle. Knee coming out directly from the hip. So you're going to be in the inside part of the foot, the inside part of the leg, and then you'll fold onto your blocks or your bolsters. Again, this can be a great place to stack the blocks underneath your bolster or your pillow to draw the ground closer to you. From here, you'll just let the chest fall forward. If you're like, that's really funny, my dog can get into that shape, but I cannot. No problem, I got you covered. We're gonna take Happy Baby. Happy Baby is just frog on the back. And so from here, you'll come onto the back, reach for either the outsides of the feet, maybe the insides of the feet, or my personal favorite, just below the knees to rest the upper arms onto the legs. Let the legs fall out to the side. And if you keep your elbows on the ground, then you've got extra support here holding up the body. So choose your adventure, what feels good for you. If you're already there, hang out. We're going to be here for a total of about 4 minutes. I'll give you the halfway point too, so you can draw your cheeks. You can switch out the cheeks if you need to. Also feel free to place a blanket or towel underneath your knees if that feels good. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start our timer. 4 minutes. So hum. Find your breath. And notice how this shape feels in your body. Stay tapped in. We're about halfway through. If you've got one cheek on your pillow or your bolster or just on the ground, go ahead and switch it over.
What?
About 30 seconds left here. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Slowly start to work your way out of this shape. My assistant finally decided to show up to work. That one can be really challenging to come out of, so take your time. On any bones or growths that come out, perfect acceptable would be like, oh, or what the heck. Anything that feels good. I invite you to find your way onto your back or to your belly for a brief puddle pose. If there's any movement you need to take in between there, feel free to do so. So in this puddle pose, really start to embrace stillness here. Let the stillness start to wash over you, and notice that effect that it can have on the breath and that the breath can have on stillness. And what are you feeling with the mantra as you've been practicing with that throughout? And take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Slowly roll onto your left side. Pause here for a moment and give yourself a really big hug. By your knees in, just wrap your arms around yourself. And then as you feel comfortable and stable, I invite you to find your comfortable seat. So for this last shape, you're going to want to move toward a wall or a door frame. We're going to take legs up the wall. I love this shape just because of how it reverses the energy, but also just how it makes me feel, like the incredible sense of calm and peace that comes over me. So I hope the same will happen to you. So find your way. I'm going to just use my handy dandy little table over here, but I really invite you to find a door or wall, something that you can use to fully support your legs here. Place, maybe a little bit of a lift behind the head if you'd like. And scooch your butt all the way up to your wall, but keep the low back on the ground. And then from here, all you're gonna do is lift the legs up the wall and close the eyes. Let the arms fall by the side and rest here. We're gonna be here for about 4 or so minutes. And just breathe. Let the breath be natural, but keep noticing the flow of it. Please forgive the noise and intrusion. Continue to breathe. As we come into the final 30 seconds of this shape, feel free to continue to stay here through Savasana, letting this be your final resting pose. Or if you'd like, feel free after the next 5 or so breaths to come out of this shape, finding your way onto your back or onto your belly. Both options are available to you. Take what you need. Wherever you're at, I invite you to take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, allowing yourself to arrive in your present moment and just be. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Start to reawaken the senses, inviting some gentle movement back into the body. Taking your time to softly transition to a comfortable seat at the top of the mat, no rush. Hands can be in the lap or draped over the knees for grounding or up to receive energy. Feel the breath as it returns to its natural rhythm. And observe what the breath is carrying on it now. As we lift our hands to our heart space, we honor once again the path that brought us to our mat this evening. And we bow our heads in a moment of gratitude for ourselves, for making time, for showing up, and then silently thanking those who joined us tonight to create this virtual community, this virtual space. Thank you all so much for letting me serve you this evening. I can't wait to practice with you again. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Peace, Peace, Peace. Thank you all so much. Have a great Friday night and a fabulous, fabulous weekend. Bye, Mama. Bye, Leah.